Felicia Pasadyn here at the Sound Running 10, showing the moxie and the confidence of a seasoned veteran in the 10,000. Even though anybody that knows this extraordinary woman, not just as the NYU Grossman medical student, not just as the Harvard swimmer, the Ohio State swimmer, not just as a woman who's conquered the roads, but you look like you run many 10,000s on the track, Felicia. 32:04:17, simply extraordinary, and just adding another phenomenal chapter to one of the most inspiring stories in women's distance running right now anywhere in the world. For everything that you've accomplished in the half, you rode 10 miles, rode 10K. What did that feel like for you, and what does it mean for you to be knocking on the door of sub 32?
Yeah, I mean, it's an extremely exciting race overall. I think the main difference from what I'm used to on the roads is this was a bit faster than what I'm used to in terms of the amount of lactic acid buildup and how high my heart rate is. I'm used to races where keep the heart rate low and then drop the hammer, but this was drop the hammer from the start. But I will say I loved that there were no hills to go up and down, and the conditions felt a lot more controlled here at nighttime. So I don't want to say it was easier, because it was definitely out of my comfort zone, but the conditions were easier, I think.
Most definitely. I mean, obviously, you were able to detach from a really high quality field early on. At that point, just what were the things that when it got into 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, just like I said, because you looked like you had done it so many times, but because obviously these are all new adventures still for you. Like if we were talking about swimming a 400 IM or a fly or a breast or any distance freestyle, you could do that blindfolded and in the dark. But in these type of situations, what are you reminding yourself of when it gets to that point of races like this again? Because you're still scratching the surface in terms of experience, not fitness or endurance or will and heart and determination, but it's experience. So what were you reminding yourself of tonight?
Yeah, I think when I was still, the first two girls were ahead of me, I was just thinking like, stick with them, they know what they're doing. But then when I felt strong halfway through the race, I just thought about all of those 4 a.m. treadmill workouts I've done where I just progression run and I'm doing my practice questions all alone in my basement gym, and I thought, this is a lot more fun than that, so just crank it. And honestly, I think putting yourself in situations that are very boring and just grinding it out make nights like this feel so exciting. So yeah, I thought it went very well.
You're literally reading my mind, because that and obviously what goes on in your basement is your time, to be able, like you said, to enrich yourself academically and continue to evolve athletically. But just the fact that you're able to show so much focus and discipline and mental toughness and commitment in that type of environment, I mean, obviously, we've got Don Turnbull on the PA and we got the music going on, but the fact that you still have to stay so locked in, whether you're trailing a couple of women or in front of everybody, what was that like from a mental focus and discipline tonight in comparison to like a 4 a.m., 5 a.m. workout by yourself in your basement?
I think, again, it's more fun and more motivating when individuals are cheering for you, and I actually had people to race, especially in the beginning. But I would say that second half felt similar. It's like I've been here before. I know that the mind is probably the biggest muscle you have to train in a race like this, where you just have to say, I believe in myself. It's hurting, but I love this. So I think, again, just that positive self-talk I worked on the last 2 years of my life really worked out here as well.
I would not be doing my journalistic responsibility, since we just finished with NCAA women's swimming and obviously men's swimming, as a woman who is an Olympic trials qualifier, who is a professionally sponsored distance running athlete by Saucony. How do you evaluate the swimming championships and just looking at, obviously, with the reminders of what those memories and what those experiences meant to you, but obviously when I was coming here tonight, I was like, the only person that I can ask about, the importance of a B final is Felicia Pasadyn. So just what of the women, the men, the whole thing, just where the state of NCAA swimming is right now. Just what were the feels you watching it from from a distance as you prepared for this opportunity?
To be totally honest, my plate is so full. I don't do a great job keeping up with swimming anymore, but I will say I'm still a huge fan of Harvard Women's Swim and Dive and Ohio State Women's Swim and Dive, and the teams did great at NCAAs. So I was happy to see my old alumni schools do well. The rest of it, kind of none of my business. I don't really have a strong opinion, but overall I thought the women did great at NCs.
Just in the fact that, you know, A final, B final, like, that it just creates opportunities, and obviously you have benefited from so many opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is it important just for the fact that like just to be able to give everybody, you know, that ambition and that inspiration, that it's like, hey, your season doesn't end at conference just because the NCAA decided they wanted to squeeze the schedule down, you know, by a few more minutes.
You know, I actually do have an opinion on this because I was at Harvard and OSU a B finalist myself, who really thrived in the B final, and
because you can still be the best you've ever been.
Exactly, and I was always thankful for that opportunity. So I do feel very sad that that's no longer an option, and I'm hoping the NCAA continues to evaluate the ramifications of that, and maybe they'll change next year.
Well, you were the best version of yourself tonight here at the Sound running 10:32:04:17. Please stay healthy. Best of luck going forward.
Thank you so much.